Hello, I'm Jacob Lewis, and today I'm going to show you how to edit a website I made in Page Builder by Siteorigin. So here's the website we're going to be editing. It's a site that I did for a client. This is the home page. You've got your large hero image with your slideshow. Learn more, get a quote. This will take you down here to the story. Some more content areas with icons. Parallax image. You've got a few content boxes down here. Contact form. And you got your footer down here. Links to social media. And yeah, so that's the home page. Then we've got this micro reality racing page. Nice big image again. Calls to action. We've got some content here. More content. Images and more content. Footer. And then we've got one more page here. Well, several more pages. This page. And we've got the About page. The frequently asked questions. I accidentally clicked on Contact. Frequently asked questions page. You've got the Contact page and the Get a Quote page, which are pretty similar. The Get a Quote page asks a few more questions. So I'm going to get into editing this now. I'm going to go back to the home page. Most of the pages are pretty straightforward and similar in the way they're developed, so once you know how to edit one, you should be able to jump in and start editing the others fairly easily. So I'm going to go to Edit Page here. So when you have Siteorigin and the extra widgets installed, you're going to have this layout view, which is really a cool feature. It's one of the best things about Siteorigin is you can create these. You can insert pre-built layouts, or you can insert rows, or you can insert widgets into those rows. So this right here is a row, and you can actually change the order just by dragging them around like that. So on the home page, you'll see this row that comes first is the Siteorigin Hero widget. So that's the best one for creating those large images for impact when they land on the page with calls to action. So if you actually click on this, you go into the edit mode here, and you can see in this one we have 3 frames that have been added, and you can click on these frames to expand them, and there's more options. So if you wanted to change the text in the first frame, you could do that. In this case, I have all the frames with the same text, so you'd want to copy that, whatever changes you make to the other 2 frames on this page. You could also have 3 different slides with different messages and have the buttons linked to different pages if you wanted. It's totally up to you. I just made the content for each slide the same, but then when you go down here, so here's how you can edit your buttons. You can see this slide has 2 buttons, Learn More, and you can change your icons here. And Get a Quote. You can change all your options here. It's on the wire theme. You can see there's no rounding. So that's all the button settings. And this is the page the button links to. you can add as many buttons as you want. As far as I know, I've only added 2 myself, max, but I don't know, you could probably add more. So this is where you change the background image, and you can also change the opacity of that image so it'll reveal the background color beneath it. In this case, this color image is full opacity, so it's fully visible. The next 2 slides I reduced the opacity a bit so that you could still read the white text on top, and so it made it slightly more black, just kind of washed out the image to black a little bit. Then we have the slider controls. You can change the animation speed, the timeout, the color. So I just have the ultra thin style. You can change the height of the image and how much padding there is at the top and bottom, and then how much extra padding at the top. So that pushes down the content within each slide. So it's really handy. I think that's all you really need to know to edit this. There's also these options on the side you can look at, but I'm not using any of this right now. It's mainly just going into each frame and editing the settings, and then there's the overall settings down here. So I'm going to hit done. Then you go to the next section here, which I used Layout Builder. Now if you click on that, you can actually put entire layouts within this. Now, this is when I was first getting started using the plugin, and I probably could have just put another hero image there because this isn't a full layout, it's just one widget inside a row. So the Layout Builder widget was unnecessary, but it doesn't hurt anything, and it's more hassle to move this up a layer than it is to just go in and edit it here. So just go into the Layout Builder, and then you can go into this section, which is another hero image. But in this case, I just used it for content. Content's actually white in here, so you can't see it. But actually, I think if I turned this off, it's better to change the color over here. You can actually change the font color to white here. So that should achieve the same effect. You can still read the text. So this is where you would change the little My Story section, or Our Story, that's on the home page. And then here's the button that links to the About Us page. You could add an icon if you wanted. I didn't put an icon on that button. There's tons of icons to choose from, different sets here. So totally up to you. If there's a symbol that you want to link to the About Us. I'm just going to leave it. And so now we have the text color, button color, all that. Some SEO options. You could add a title to the button. So you could say About Fast Track Entertainment. That'll just add a couple extra keywords and make it more user-friendly for disabled people. Accessibility features, where it will read the text when you hover over it. So that's good to add to all your buttons. You got your slider controls with the image speed. In this case, we only have one slide, so it's not going to act as a slideshow. It's just going to stay on the one slide. We didn't define a height for this box here. In fact, the way we did the height is if you click down here and you go into this tool area, this edit row section, you can see that I put the ID Our Story here so I can link to it. But I've also, let's see, you can change your padding and margins in here. Yeah, so there's a few options there. Pretty sure the height is just defined by the content in this case. You can always add a little bit of padding if you want. So like right here, I've got 50 pixels at the top and bottom. I could make that 100 if I wanted to, but I think I'll leave it at 50. Okay, so below that we have the features. Now I broke it into 6 different columns within this row, and the reason I did that, you can actually add multiple features within one of the widgets, just like you can frames in the hero image. But the reason I broke it into separate ones is so that I could add these classes which cause it to animate in. I'm using the Animate It plugin, so when you scroll down, it will actually fly in, it'll fade up into the screen, and I put delay on them. So the first one doesn't have delay, and you can see here's the title text, you have your icon, and then you have your text for this feature. So it's real simple. But if I go to the second one and I go edit, you can see if I go to the attributes here, this has delay 1. So that's what causes that animation to pause for a minute, and then so they all trigger in like one after the other. And I can demonstrate that in a moment. So that's how you edit those features. They're really basic. You can just change the icons. You can even upload your own icons. You can edit the text here though, title text, and then the rest of your text. You could even link them to things if you wanted, but I chose not to. Now down below that, well actually let me demonstrate the animating in real quick. I'm going to go to the home page. I'm going to leave this page. Now if I scroll down, okay. Yeah, now you can see them loading in one after the other. So I'm going to go back into edit mode. And I'm going to go down here to the next section. And this is just a basic Siteorigin Editor. I'm going to click edit here. And basically I just put this spacer in. I used a plugin called Spacer. And this just makes it 500 pixels tall. And then I gave it a background. Not here, but if you go to the edit row and go to the side, you can see that I gave it a background image, and I selected Parallax here, so it's gonna move as I scroll down the page. It's gonna stay kind of fixed, and that's why I gave it a height and there's nothing in it, is just so that there's a frame for you to look at the image through. So I'm going to hit done there. These next sections, well, if you go into this edit row, you can add or remove rows. I have 3 in this case, evenly spaced. We're going to leave it like that. I'm going to go to this first one. I used the Siteorigin Hero widget for each one of these. So each one just has a single frame. I put a image thumbnail that I created, all these images the same size. And then we have a little title and description, so it's really easy to just edit here. And then this code inserts the button that is below here. And this button will link to the conventions page. So that's cool. And we're going to hit done. Same exact thing with this one and the next one. We just have a single frame with an image and some text, and that's how you can edit it. You just hit done. And again, I have animations in there. I don't know if you noticed that, but if you go to the attributes, this one has a delay. They fade up in order again. So we have this one. Once again, we have the image, title, and text, and you can modify any of that and hit done, and then just hit update after whatever changes you make so that it'll go live on the site. Okay, so then we have this last section under here in which we have inserted a form. I use custom contact forms. I think it's a great plugin, and it integrates with Google to verify that the user is not a robot. So yeah, I used to use Contact Form 7, but this just suits my needs much better. And so yeah, that's the main deal with the homepage. There's also this SEO section from Yoast. You can target your keyword and work on meeting all these standards, but since we're using this plugin to do the layout, it's not going to detect all of the content because the focus keyword definitely does appear in the text. It's just not detecting it. And we did specify a meta description at one point. I might have to redefine that. But yeah, it's something that you can tweak as you go. So you can just go to edit snippet. Fast Track Entertainment provides micro reality, stock car racing. So it's in there, it's just broken up, and I think that will work for Google. So just gotta gauge it and experiment. And if you ever want to go back to previous versions, you can go to them here and just restore back to an older version if you mess up something and need to revert. So yeah, that's the home page. Now it's pretty much the same thing on the other pages. I'm gonna take a quick look and see if there's any other plugins that I used. Oh, there's one other page too that I forgot to show at the intro of this video. There's a service area page that if you click learn more here, it takes you to this page, and we have this Google Maps with areas that we reach and listing of states here. So yeah, I'm going to go to this micro reality racing page, and I'm going to click edit page. Well, first I'm going to look at the content here. You can see I've used all the same techniques here. If I go to edit page, you'll see that I have the hero image. I showed you how to edit that. I have the features. I have the editor. Some rows here, or columns with editors in them. And you can drag these around and move content really easily, which is really a nice advantage to doing it this way. It's very visual and helps you just focus on the layout and not worry about the technical aspect. So then we have this editor, another spacer. We have a section here that's split up, and when you go into edit row, you can see the way it's divided up. It's actually using the golden ratio, so it's more visually appealing, supposedly. And we have an icon over here on the left, and then we did similar. I just used an icon from the featured, and I didn't put text, so that's what created just an icon there. And then I used text on this side. You can go in and edit. So yeah, it's very user-friendly. And the same thing down here, except I reversed it. And we got the editor. Yeah, it's pretty much a lot of the Siteorigin's feature, or Siteorigin features plugin, widget, and the Siteorigin Editor, which is your basic editor. and then I did the Siteorigin hero a lot. So I'm just going to leave this alone. I'm going to go to the next page and see if there's anything that I did that you'd want to edit that's any different than what I've shown you. If you go to edit page, we've got, again, the hero image. I use Siteorigin headline this time, which is very simple. You just go in and write a headline, choose your H1 tag or whatever size you want it to be, and then I did a sub-headline, and that's really it. I could even add a little divider if I wanted, but right now I don't have one. Don't think it needs it. But for fun, let's see what it would look like. I'm just going to put a little white divider, thin white divider, and preview that. Well, I can't see it because it didn't include the background that I have. So let me go and actually see it on the live site. Just hit update, and there it isn't. Okay, well, I don't think it needs a divider anyway, so don't worry about that. If you go to learn more, you've got these, so that corresponds to this features section. So then we've got 3 different features. This is what I was talking about, is if you don't want them to animate in, you can include multiple features. See, I put features per row 3, and I've got 3 different features with different icons in blue circles. And you can go and change the text for each one right here, and then just hit done and hit update, and it will be live on the site. And if for some reason you wanted to change the form, edit the questions, you just go here to forms and submissions, and you can go into this edit the get a quote form. You can also edit the other form, which is the quick message. It's untitled there, but you can go in and edit that and it will change it. So if I say manage form, I can add different types of questions here. You can see what's here now. It'll always have a slug. You got the label for this, its name, and description is usually blank. You can choose whether it's required or not. So we have the name, then we have the company, phone number, email. So they have special fields that you can add to, which verify whether it's a real email or a real name, for example. So yeah, use those. You got radio buttons, and then you go down here, and in your form settings, this is where you choose where the form gets sent once it gets submitted. So right now, for testing purposes, it's going to me, but you go in here and put whatever email you want the form to be sent to when someone submits it. So I'm going to change it to yours right after I finish this video, because I don't remember it off the top of my head. So yeah, that's really all there is to it. You hit save form, it'll spin around like that, and then it's saved, and you just X out, and that will update it on the site. So I think that pretty well covers everything that you'd need to know about managing a site like this built with Siteorigin Page Builder and WordPress. So yeah, if you have any further questions, please leave them in the comments, and please like and subscribe. And thanks for watching. Have a great day. Hope this helped.